Hey Tubes! Jonathan was wrong here. Truth on a budget. My phone is acting crazy today. It's not really letting me do what I want to do with it. Which is annoying because, it's a phone. It's a tool. Anyway, so I found this video. I'm gonna go ahead and link it in the description there. It's been out for 2 weeks, but I just noticed it. And it's all about, supposedly NASA found some structure in space, and it's like, blocking off the light of a distant star, and there might be a construct opposed to a natural planet or whatever, blah blah blah. So the thing that's alarming about it is that it was all over mainstream news, and even Alex Jones was talking about it. Now, if anyone's ever listened to Alex Jones, which I'm sure you have during your your journeys through the truth mire, trying to find out what's what, over a friggin' decade ago, unfortunately one of the first people I cut my teeth on was Alex Jones. I didn't know who else was out there. I didn't have any I kind of woke myself up more or less. I didn't have anyone around me, if anyone, everyone around me thought I was a crazy person. But I had to figure things out on my own and, find different avenues, find out who was full of crap, how deep it went, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, under the advice of Pia, and also I was actually thinking about it. We're on the same page all the time. She'll message me something I'm thinking, or vice versa. But anyway, so let me give you a quick rundown of Niburu. Obviously, I don't have my notes in front of me, as I never do. It's not my way. But I'll do my best to run through the quick details. All right, so supposedly every 20,000 years, 120,000 years, 30,000 years, whatever, name a number, this planetary system rolls by. Now, you've heard the things that about binary star systems, about how different star systems will have two suns, basically, and how then later science said that was the norm. It was normal to have a binary star system, and yada yada yada. So that was them getting us prepared for this, basically, I think. Anyway, so the Niburu star system is like a sister star system, where it has its planets and stuff. It's kind of Saturn and Niburu kind of overlap, and where a lot of the ancient depictions of Saturn and Saturn and its moons is actually the Niburu star system and its planets. The symbol of the I forget what it's called. Anyways, they try to tie the phoenix to it. They try to tie everything to it, and what they also try to tie to it is the old gods. That basically the story is every 20,000 years, 30,000, blah 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 blah. The Niburu star system comes by, totally f's with everything. Flips over our magnetic field, does all this crazy stuff. There's all these disasters, and then they come down and yada 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 yada. And they do stuff, and supposedly they're the same as the Olympians and the Nordic gods, whatever, which that is kind of true in the way that they are, but they are not from space, because there's no space. No one comes from space. So anyway, it's tied to all the old gods, all the old mythologies. They basically try to tie everything together into this Niburu Planet X thing. They also even tried to tie Wormwood into it, the star Wormwood. As far as what the star Wormwood is, I have no idea. I'm not even gonna attempt to try to guess on that. Wormwood could be an angel. Wormwood could be a demon. Wormwood could be a person. Who knows? All I know about wormwood is it's the stuff in absinthe that makes you trip balls. That's all I know about wormwood. But yeah, so trying to think if there's any. Yeah, basically all the like the Anunnaki from the Earth Chronicles with Gilgamesh and all that. Also, by the way, that was grossly mistranslated. The guy who did that skewed a lot of the translation to try to fit into the Ancient Aliens model. But yeah, that's basically the stories of Gilgamesh and all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. So they're trying to tie it all together. Which in like I said is kind of true. They are the same people. But there's no secondary star system. There's no there's no space. There's none of that. None of that's real. Trying to think what else about Nibiru, Planet X, etc., is important. Other than it's supposed to mess with our magnetic field and flip the there's just all sorts of theories and stuff for everything it's supposed to do, and they tried to correlate it with other fake science, other mythology, and all that stuff. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head right now. That's kind of a quick crash course in what Niburu is. But yeah, they basically try to tie it to the Egyptian gods and all the old gods and everything else, and all the depictions of Saturn and its moons. Maybe it's not Saturn. I think it is, because it's recreated in a lot of corporate logos. Because every single corporate logo is either the planet Saturn or a 666 or pentagram or whatever, an eye, a triangle. It's all every corporate symbol is one of those, and one of the recurring ones is of course Saturn. But anyway, it's like I said, it's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. In the comment section, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll do my best to either answer them or steer you in the right direction. As you guys know, I'm not always good with specifics, but I could always try to dig those up and see if I can find out those specifics, such as the name of the guy who wrote the Earth Chronicles. No idea. Sorry, translated, quote unquote. That's the thing about a lot of those translations. You have to take their word for it. I can't read, Sanskrit. I can't read ancient Greek. I can't read ancient Hebrew and everything else. I could read English. That's about it. If it ain't in English, I gotta take someone's word for it. Rough stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to put this up for a little bit because I'm cruising around, and I got to find that I got to dig up that link so I can plop it down in the description so you guys can watch that video. But anyways, disclosure's coming. I've been talking about it. It's only a matter of time until the government says, hey, there's aliens and they're here to help us, or or they're gonna come down and make themselves known immediately and do what I said before, and try to get us prepared for the second coming of Christ by saying he's an alien invasion and they're here to help us, save us from him. Because that's as far as I can think, that's the quickest and easiest way to get everyone against Jesus Christ, is to have the alien. Because think about it, the person who speaks first is always believed. If you go and you lie to somebody, and then the other person finds out about that lie and tries to rectify it, they're fighting against the tide. They have to convince somebody of something, whereas the other person who first came to them doesn't have as much of a battle to convince them of anything. So it's been my experience through history and just personal experience, the first person there is right, and the second person there is always under scrutiny. They gotta prove themselves, whereas the first person doesn't, because people are very quick to believe something bad because it's juicy, it's interesting. People don't want to hear good stuff because it makes them jealous, makes them like, oh well, I can do stuff too. So people don't want to hear good things, they only want to hear negative things, so they can be like, ah ha ha, yeah, let's bring that person down a peg. And with that current mindset, that's the quickest way to get things done, I think, personally. Because Jesus is going to come down and be like, I'm Jesus, and the people are going to be like, we don't believe in Jesus. You don't look like Jesus to me. Having not read the Bible, I don't know. As far as I know, from the Bible says he's going to have white hair, be dressed in white, and his feet are going to be like burning bronze or something. Sounds pretty cool. Of course, you say that and be like, oh, like Gandalf the White, and then you grab them by the throat and headbutt them as hard as you can. Not really, but it's sometimes what I'd like to do, because it's annoying where people are like, oh, like in that Netflix thing. It's like, no, like in the effing Bible, dude. Like what do you, I'm not getting my information from sitcoms. I don't know. What are you gonna do? But yeah, blah blah blah. I'll try to get that up pretty soon. I might dip into Wampatuck Park and go ahead and find that link and put it up. Anyway, I think it's a nice day. I never know. Like, the thing with me is that I've spent my whole life like telling what time it is, what the weather's doing, what the weather's gonna be doing, by looking at the sky. And I can no longer do that, because whenever you look at the sky, it doesn't mean anything. You can't get a feel for what's going on anymore. I know anyone who's a outdoorsman or naturalist, Native American, whatever, what have you, you're probably experiencing the same issue. It sounds like, ask you, is it gonna rain? Be like, I have no idea. I would say yes, but I have no idea. You can't look at the sky anymore and tell what's going on. I love too when you'll look up and it's white, and then there's clouds in front of the white, and no one thinks anything's wrong with that. I don't know. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Like I said, comment section, ask away. Feel free to cross-reference me. I'm not an authority, and sometimes I get my information mixed up. And like I've said a billion times, I'm very bad with specifics. My mind doesn't seem to think those things are important. So it does not log and catalog them like other people are really good with statistics and dates and names. I'm the opposite. Anyway, yeah, have a beautiful day, hopefully, and God bless all of you.